I don't know if it's a sign of me getting old or just if my tastes have changed, but I kind of like this better than the movie it spun off from. Army of Thieves is a brand new Netflix original movie that is a spin-off slash prequel for Army of the Dead, the Zack Snyder zombie apocalypse movie that came out earlier this year. I've seen that movie. I didn't talk about it because everybody was talking about it, but I thought it was fine. It was a fun movie. It was nice to see Zack Snyder sort of getting back to his roots. This movie is focused solely on one of the characters from Zack Snyder's zombie movie, the German safecracker. If you haven't seen Army of the Dead, I'll get this out of the way right now. You don't need to have seen that one in order to really enjoy Army of Thieves. Yeah, there are a few things going on that you'll have a better appreciation for, and one of the biggest things is that the characters see on the news the zombie outbreak happening in America, and it is very much so out of left field. So if you haven't seen Army of the Dead, yeah, that could be a little jarring. You'd be like, why are we not more focused on the fact that there's a zombie outbreak happening in America? That's the only time the movie really sort of plays on the expectations that you've seen Army of the Dead. But even then, I don't think it's so distracting that it would take away from what's going on in this movie. So what is going on in this movie? Army of Thieves is a horrible title, and it only makes sense because it's tied to Army of the Dead. There is 5 thieves in this movie, and that is it. Last time I checked, that wasn't an army. But we'll let them have it. It's 5. I am not even going to attempt to say his name, but the actor who plays the main character in this movie, which is the spin-off character, is great. He also directed this movie, and that was kind of impressive. You can definitely tell that he's trying to emulate his best Zack Snyder, and that's not a bad thing, because this movie isn't trying to be anything it's not. It's not trying to win any awards, and it's not trying to be the next Citizen Kane. Man, I hate that expression. It is what it is, and it's having a whole bunch of fun. And from a performance standpoint and a directorial standpoint, he nailed it. Essentially, the movie just boils down to this group of thieves that are going after 3 world-renowned safes. And it has a lot of influences from stuff like Ocean's 11 in terms of the camaraderie and the team build, and everybody in the team has their one specific skill. And the character of Dieter, well, Sebastian, sorry, that's going to happen a lot, actually makes the meta comment about the fact that they all bring something to the table, and that's the kind of precedence that this movie sets for itself. Like I said before, it's just fun. The performances in the movie were all pretty good. As mentioned before, the main character is spot on. He's this quirky German guy who's got this weird amount of charisma, and the character is just entertaining to watch. It's not a character you latch onto or really sort of start to sympathize with. I mean, there are some aspects of his character that could be relatable for sure, but for the sake of this movie, he's really just here for the entertainment value, and the performance is great. It's the kind of guy, there's multiple moments in the movie where he's got this shrill scream. You know, he'll spill coffee on himself, or he'll get a gun pointed at him, and the pitch that he goes to and the length of time that the scream goes on for, spot on, sir. The other main character in this movie is, I don't know her name either. She played Ramsey in the last 3 Fast and the Furious movies. She was excellent as well, albeit not as outlandish as the main character, but none of the other characters in this movie are. Everyone else on the team, they were fine. The police officer chasing the crew was a little over the top, but that was kind of the point. This whole movie is sort of over the top when you really think about it. There's like an underground fight club for safecrackers, apparently. I mean, just kind of let that one slide, because again, it just fits into this crazy world that Zack Snyder created, so really let's blame him. And now this lovely German fellow has just fleshed out one small corner of it. They also really lean into the thing that we've seen 1,000 times before. We've even seen it in opening movie logos where they go right into the safe and it's really close up of the gears. I mean, it's all computer generated, but it's showing the tumblers going as he's cracking the safe. And that's cool, like the first maybe couple times you see it, but it does happen for literally every safe. And by the time they get to the last one, it's a little long in the tooth. I mean, I get it, they're trying to create suspense, but we kind of know how this is going to end up because it's a prequel. I guess if you haven't seen Army of the Dead, then maybe there would be a little bit more suspense for you. But if you've seen any movie in the last like 50 years, you know how this one's going to end. Well, not end, but you know that the safe crackers are going to crack the safe. Spoilers? Come on. And like I mentioned, he does do his best to emulate Zack Snyder. At least that's how it felt to me. And he's got this very erratic and action-packed, energized camera when it comes to his movements and the way they track the scenes and follow the characters. And that was really cool and kept the movie feeling, I want to say fresh, but that's probably the wrong word. But either way, this movie like left a big smile on my face for the majority of the runtime. By the time you get around to the end, it definitely suffers from the we have to wrap this up in a very specific way so that this character can get to where he's going for the next movie. In this case, it's not atrocious and it does sort of flow, but it's not what I would call super organic. It's just like, oh, that's why that store was named that, and that's why he's so excited when he sees the blueprints for yada yada yada. This movie is not something that I would assume would be the normal next step when it comes to a movie like Army of the Dead, but I'm really glad that it was the next step that we got. Army of Thieves is a great time. It is hilarious, it is entertaining, it's got some pretty cool action scenes that aren't so over the top or used to a degree where it gets boring. And that was really cool. I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. It is easy to recommend this movie, especially since it's on Netflix. And if you've seen Army of the Dead and you liked that character, even just a little bit, this is perfect. It's not like, let's say, Joey in terms of Friends. This is much better. So what about you guys? Have you seen Army of Thieves? If you have, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next one.